Good evening, y'all. Welcome to Monday night. I know some people are still logging on because of my Zoom mishap um, code, but it's his life. And I didn't say this earlier, but if I sound a little tired in my voice, tired, yes, but also I feel like I'm coming down with something. Like the other night, my throat started getting sore, and then today was kind of like this headache vibe. So I am about ready to go to sleep after this, but I'm going to power through with you guys. And hopefully it doesn't get worse than now. So what we're going to be talking about today is vision casting. If y'all can see that, give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. Of course, all the bars are always in the way, but I thought that this would be a great topic because I know it feels like we're talking about mindset and vision and action like on repeat. I went back and made my graphic for today to share, hey, I'm doing Monday Night Meetup. And the topic that I had last taught on was action and vision. And so it's like, oh, what a reoccurring theme. But that's truly our business, right? That is what our business is all about is getting our own mindset right to stay firm with our vision so that we can then turn around and give that vision and pour into other people and build a vision for our team, right? So, vision, these are just like a couple of definitions I found that stood out to me. One of them is actually like a quote, like on Pinterest, like an Etsy art kind of thing. And so I was like, ooh, I may get that for myself, like put that in my office or something one day. But what I highlighted, I kind of like bolded a few words that really stood out to me. This is not anything new. I'm not trying to like give y'all a definition on vision, but in case we have somebody who is newer to working the business and you're like, what are you talking about vision? Like, am I going to see into the future? Like, what do they mean by that? Because I know in the beginning of me, I was like, what? This is like a foreign concept because no one talks about this out in the real world. No one, unless you are plugged into a community or you are already like on the path for growth, then you don't have conversations like this very much. You're not sitting there talking about what you want for the future, what your goals are. The average person is just surviving the day. They're not thinking big picture, long term, big vision, prayers, goals, like all of that very much, I would think. And so, vision, what we focus on for our team, and this is also something for you to get solid in knowing so you can be able to duplicate this to your own team one day, right? Is to have it's an image of what the future could be as a product of your imagination. And I didn't really love the idea of like imagination because what we're doing is we're not just like having an imagination. It's like, no, we are imagining, yes, something that we truly want to become real. It is a deep desire for us. And so being able to clearly see this desired reality and key point here, hello, everybody needs this reminder, willing to work towards it. That's that action piece. That sometimes, not all of us, I'm just going to speak from like my own journey. Sometimes my action is there, but my mindset, belief, and vision are not there. And then sometimes my mindset and vision's like there. And then I guess I think like it's going to magically happen because then my action's not there. So trying to find that like good balance and have firm belief, knowing that whatever your deepest desire is, that it is going to come to fruition in your life. And this piece is not plugged in there, but I would go a little step further to make this a prayer that whatever you have a vision for your family, when you're going through these steps or when you're thinking about vision, we're going to talk about vision writing and stuff like that. When you're thinking about these things, make it a prayer of yours so that my vision does make sure my vision, my goals, my dreams, our family's vision, our deepest desires as a unit, do they align with God's plan and God's will? Because I can say all day long what I would love for my um vision to be and what I imagine and this and the other, but like at the end of the day, those are my honestly worldly plans. Do I have pieces in there that I do feel like God would be like, well done, my good and faithful servant? Yes. But then there's other pieces where I'm like, but the trips, but the nicer home, but the this, it's worldly. And so I have to kind of pull myself in because not everybody's vision, I will also say, is going to be the same. what so and so has written for their vision for years may not be for you, and that is a-okay. So we have to kind of know this. So the first thing that I feel like you have to do, because it's very, very easy for someone to be like, encourage you to vision right. But if you have mental blocks, it's genuinely hard for you to see that vision going real. Okay, so moment of truth, tell me in the chat or drop a one, whatever you want to do. How many of you have ever thought of a vision or seen a post, or maybe are watching this Hawaii trip that all of our leaders are on, or a past leaders retreat trip, or maybe you haven't come to a convention yet, but you saw a convention or you saw the jewels on stage, whatever it may be in this business, and maybe something in your own life. How many of you have thought, oh, that looks awesome. Like I would love to do that, but blank, but something, but well, that's nice for them, but I'm struggling here. You're in this like mental, and I can't see the chat, whoever's saying anything. So if you're speaking up or saying something, then thank you for joining, because I feel like that's something that probably anybody can admit at some point you've been in a comparison trap, or you've been stuck in this like hamster wheel of negativity. And if that's the case, then you need to dig a little deeper. We need to dig a little deeper into retraining our mindset, because I believe, and I don't know if anybody else, other leaders would, agree with this, but I believe that if your mindset is not focused in the right direction, then your vision is gonna not, it's not gonna seem it, you're not gonna believe in it. You're not gonna believe in that vision, if that makes sense. So you can see I've got two things right here. What I would love for you to do, and if you don't want to do them right now, that's totally fine. Maybe you have like writer's block. I know for some of you it's like already in the 9 o'clock hour and you're ready for bed. Or maybe you're watching this replay on the way to work and you're like, I can't do this, whatever, tomorrow. But what I would love for you to do is take some time, and I'm going to do this as well. And then when I was creating this, I already was thinking through like, oh, different statements and things. I want you to write down 3 lies that you're telling yourself about your business. And if you want to take it a step further, personally, write down 1 or 2 or 3 that you're telling yourself about yourself, about your personal life, about your relationships, about your physical health, about your job, whatever it may be. But take some time either right now or tonight before you go to bed, tomorrow morning, wake up early. I want you to think about 3 things that you're telling yourself that you know are a lie about your business. I can't attract business builders. I can't recruit. I can't develop a silver. It's been forever since I've had somebody join me for the business. No one responds. Think of all of these things that you're telling yourself in your mindset. And then what I want you to do once you think about those, again, this may take some time, but I want you to think about, okay, what can I tell myself instead? And I want you to make those statements I am, or I can, or I will statements. I can attract people to this business. I am a good recruiter with a solid business, and I am consistently bringing in new VIP customers, and I am great at helping them start sharing. And I will have a fast start silver next month or this month or this week, whatever it may be. Like those statements are powerful. And so that may be an exercise to do like every day. We talked about that. I think it was um on the gold call. I think it was last week. Not, I don't think it was Monday night. I think it was gold call with Jill. She talked about like before, when you sit down to work your business, like say affirmations over what you're doing and what you're, speaking life over your business. So this is kind of the same thing. If you find yourself in this little mindset trap, you're not going to be able to have a clear vision, or a vision that you truly believe in and are 100% convicted for, if you are telling yourself lies about your business, like it's never going to happen. It's unattainable. So the next thing is taking those dreams and turning them into reality. So then here comes the vision piece. And so I'm not going to talk about this for too long, because many of you have either done a vision writing before, or you have heard over and over again about vision. And to be honest, none of this is new. This is stuff that was talked about at convention. And so I'm just kind of like regurgitating some notes and stuff that, I've learned along the way, or things that I've been trained on, obviously by top leaders. So Your vision is something, a lot of us talk about dream boards, and it doesn't have to be a physical dream board. A lot of us do backgrounds on our phones. I'll tell you guys, I rotate um personally through like for a vision. I had this one for a while after convention. I don't know if, well, the screen is big, but there's a picture of me from, I don't even know if y'all can see my camera, but from convention holding the green jewel cutout thingy, and it says Emerald Team 2025. So that was my background for a while, and I kind of go back and forth. And right now, I actually have affirmations as um my background. So I have like a, well, it's too bright, but I have like a little quote affirmations that I wrote out for my phone. So when I see that, because just like I was talking about, I need to feed myself good mindset. I got to get that check in check before I look at this, because what was happening is I was seeing that Emerald 2025, and for me personally, and I know I'm vulnerable with you guys. I know probably as a leader, I shouldn't say things like this, but I'm going to be vulnerable with you. But sometimes I would look at that and I would like literally be like, okay, next. Like, that's not happening today. Cool. Haven't signed anybody this week. Like, how am I ever going to get there? Like, 2025 is, we're 1 month closer to 2025. Like. And so I would catch myself probably like seeing that and it not even like sinking in, like, yes, that's going to happen. So I've had to go back over the last month or so. That's when I finally picked up The Gap and the Gain, reading that. I'm making sure that I am setting aside time for my daily Bible reading. Of course, like for us, our church started up Bible study again. So like I'm doing, that. But I know I need to take all the proactive steps first to like retrain my mindset and keep it strong um, in order to truly have that. So you can do those for vision boards. Some people like physical ones you hang up somewhere, cut out magazine pictures and whatnot. But now it's so easy to do virtual, right? But the vision writing one, I want you to kind of take some time either tonight or tomorrow or sometime this week. I would think weekly would be a great habit to write out your vision, or do just a vision writing it. And it's going to change every time. I am not a good journaler. I'm not consistent at it. And so therefore, if I'm not consistent, I think that I'm bad at it. So I don't journal as much as I probably would ideally like to, but you can type these things in your phone, notes when it's on your brain. You can, journal it out whenever it's heavy on your heart, whatever it may be. But some questions to kind of guide you. And this is a lot. So if you want to like screenshot this or take a picture of it on your phone, go for it. But these are just some guiding questions in case you're like, okay, she said division right, but like, what does that even mean? Where do I even begin? So if you want to take a screenshot of this, if you're on your phone, or if you have your phone handy, you just want to like take a picture of this. These are just some guiding questions to kind of help you go along. So if you want to vision write, a wonderful thing to vision write right now and to think about is our upcoming leaders retreat. Maybe you've gone on one before and you know what it feels like, or maybe this will be your first trip, first Plexus trip ever, and you've seen the pictures, you've watched. But I want you to write about maybe what does your ideal day, or what is that day going to look like when you're on that leaders retreat trip, when you're on that boat? What's it going to feel like? What do you see yourself doing that day? How is it going to like feel for you, right? And maybe write about Hawaii. Or I mean, I know next year they're not going to Hawaii. There's an Alaskan cruise for the Jewel, the Emerald Extravaganza. So write about the Alaskan cruise. Imagine what that's going to be like and what it's going to feel like. What is it going to smell like? What are you going to be doing with your day? Who's going to be traveling with you? All of those. So you can write about different things, trips, experiences, your normal day, your dream day. I know that that's something that Jill has mentioned before. What does your ideal morning look like? Right? Because mornings set the tone for the day. And I don't know about y'all, but when we have a crazy morning, it shows, right? And so these are just some, like I said, some things to kind of help get the wheels turning. What are this last one I added on there? What are some experiences or achievements you've earned? How does that feel? I think my very first um, vision writing I ever did was back in 2017. And I think I was writing about earning leaders retreat that year and that I was going to be a Ruby. And it was several years later until I became a Ruby, but I did earn leaders retreat that year. And so, part of that vision came through. And then eventually I earned other leaders retreat trips as a Ruby. And so you just got to keep it going and hold on to those little pieces of your vision that you see so clearly and so like I said at the beginning, it is such a deep desire for you. Other things, just some quick steps that can really help set the tone. If we've ever done a vision writing in person or we've done some on the call before, I know that a huge thing is to play like quiet music or like worship music. Get in a quiet space, set your phone somewhere else if you're not using it to like type on. Maybe set a timer if you want, give yourself like 10 minutes to just like write it all out so you're not, stuck there all day. I mean, or just write all day, write, pour your heart out on that paper, right? An important thing that Jill's always told us is to write in the present tense. Um, I still like I know Jill, she shared so much about this. I feel like I know Jill's vision writing things that she's talked about so much, but write in the present tense like you're already there. Like this is already what your life is like. You're already on this boat. You're already on that stage. You're already earning this rank. You're already out of debt. You're already over whatever hurdle, whatever mountain, whatever valley may be happening right now. Think about that day when it's all in the past. Not that life will be peachy keen and there won't still be hardships and stuff, but be specific, write in the present tense, and focus on the feelings, focus on the experiences of that. I think one of my most recent ones that I did, um, I was writing about, it wasn't even about like a trip, it wasn't like it says material success. It wasn't even about anything to earn. It was about my relationship in our family, like what kind of mom I was, because money wasn't a stressor, or because it wasn't a topic of conversation every week, or because we weren't in this mindset of not having enough or this, that, the other, And so it was just that. And that's what got me emotional that day. And so, anyways, it can be whatever for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this at all. But then here's the key thing I want you guys to think about: action for your team, because this isn't just about vision for yourself, but it's also about being somebody who's able to vision cast for your team. And so, what I would love, also another challenge, so I've kind of given you guys like 3 challenges for this, which our call, I said it was going to run short, but we started a little bit late because of Zoom, which we are running short. But 3 challenges. The first one is to think of the lies that you're telling yourself about your business and then rewrite them, change the script, change your mindset around them. Number 2, do a vision writing, change up your vision board, update your vision board. Maybe you've never done one. Maybe it's not the phone, your phone background or whatever. Maybe you need to update it because you have your sights set on earning this leaders retreat cruise, or your business is at a totally different place today than it was 4 months ago when you made one last or something, right? And then do a vision writing with that as well. Like sit down tonight, maybe make it a part of like your Sunday night routine or your Monday night routine after Monday night meetup, when your head is fresh and cleared and you feel motivated because we've met together as a community. Set aside time. You've already dedicated Monday to be on the call. So then set aside 5 or 10 minutes to do that after, So find a time to do that. And then number 3 is action for your team. So I want you to message somebody, potentially somebody who could be already on your team. I sent a message to somebody yesterday about who had reordered and was wanting to get back on the product. So I chatted with her or messaged her about the cruise. Um, but also somebody who is a strong potential or somebody that you see in your vision doing this with you, and add value to them in some form or way. So something that I always like to do is send voice messages. I send almost all of my business reach outs through voice message so that they hear my voice, they hear my heart, and they know I'm not just a robot that's like, hey girl, I'd really love for you to, use this as a way to make extra income. It's like, no, 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 I'm a real human, I'm a real mom, and I see potential in you doing this. So it says, what are they already doing and what do you see in them that they're capable of? I know for me, I have like blinders that are open. That makes sense. Like they're not fully shut blinders, like a window, they're like open. So I can still see like what's happening out there. But I do have some blinders on because I know the type of women that I want in my team pictures when we go on trips. I know the type of women that I want to be able to trust leading a call if I'm on a trip, or to that I know is going to have the right heart, the right attitude, the right work ethic, the right, just all the things like that, that kind of, and bundled together. And so that may be something that I tell somebody is that I list off characteristics that I see in them. I look for people who have leadership capabilities. I know that they already have leadership capabilities because those are usually the people that come in and they don't need to be told what to do. They're going to do it regardless. They may need to be coached on it and refined. But a lot of people, I look for people who I know have a history in some way of being a leader. And thankfully for me, I have a dance background, and a lot of my dance background led to people who were most likely held a leader once I got to college, held a leadership position on their high school team. So I know they already have qualities like that that they carried over into college. And then I was also in education. So I look at a bunch of like educators because, in my opinion, educators are leaders for the most part. If you do a good job leading students, and if you can, I feel like if you can wrangle students, you can usually help an adult or two. And so I look for kind of people who have those qualities that can be coached and things like that. And so I know I said message someone on your team or a potential, but maybe challenge yourself and think of 3 to 5 people you can voice message tonight. And if you're thinking, oh gosh, what would I even like voice message about? I don't even know what I would voice message about. Well, lucky for you, I have this pulled up for us, which is the biz. And I'm going to actually go ahead and copy this into the chat really quick for you. But the in our, so I cannot talk and do multiple things at one time. Hopefully that link works. But um, the biz script book in our welcome guide, there, finally got it out. I have this pulled up because there's actually quite a lot of ideas. Golly, my computer, I'm so sorry, guys, is like having a massive brain fart. Sorry, I could not click on anything. But in our business script book, so I think I shared the link, should work to where it opens up specifically to this. But I like this because not only does it give you messaging help and different ideas, but it breaks it down so it might actually give you like a good memory jogger of who you could reach out to. So of course, sharing income opportunity, reaching out to somebody who a new VIP, someone maybe not even a new VIP, maybe there's somebody that didn't respond to you a year ago when you started talking about the referral program, but they've been a consistent customer for a year. They may be open to getting the cost of their products covered. Always thinking about monthly incentives when you can share that with somebody. Testimony, sharing a testimony, that's huge because anytime you can specifically find something that makes you, I would think if somebody sent me something back in the day that was like, oh my goodness, I saw this and I thought of you, I would have been like, that's so sweet. They're thinking of me. And they remembered that I was struggling with X, Y, and Z. And then they found this and sent it to me. They're, like they remembered. I would think that would like stick out a lot for me personally. If somebody was like, wow, that even if I was, not yet ready to buy, I would still be flattered that that happened. Same thing with sharing a diamond documentary. If there's something that, relates to somebody specifically, their story. Anyways, I'm not going to talk through all of these, but these are definitely ones that you can reach out. And I know they're not specifically like pouring your heart out, come do this business with me kind of messages, but anything that you are doing where you're saying like, hey, I see you, I see potential in you. I saw this story which made me totally think of you and you can totally do this. I think that that is casting vision to people. It's giving somebody a reason to feel encouraged and motivated and have like a switch flipped almost in their brain of like, oh, someone sees potential in me. There could be more to what I'm doing now. And so anyways, I challenge you to like go look at this if you haven't looked in a while, because there's, I mean, even like Leaders Retreat, messaging people about how they can, earn this too. But there's lots of categories that may make you think of somebody else. So that's in our welcome guide on the business script book page. And so I'm going to end it right there, but I really do encourage you. I'm obviously not going to like come check on you if you didn't do your homework for tonight, but if you feel like you are in a hard mental place, which by mid-month, it's very possible. And I know we kind of have a lull right now, like our chat is a little bit quieter. We don't have too much going on. Our leaders are in Hawaii, and so we're seeing them have fun and all this stuff. So you may be in a place mentally where your mindset is not as positive and therefore your vision is kind of lacking. So maybe use today, use this week, revamp it back up, kick it in a high gear again to finish this month strong. We have a lot of days left in this month to be able to finish this month strong. And so I encourage you to do those things and really focus in on mindset, vision, and duplicating that to your team. If anybody has any questions, I'll stay on. Other than that, that's it. Love you guys. Good night.